So then we are back with some more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Tza'elic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end. As per Yeshayahu the prophet, we find layers of understanding of the spring feast, the autumn feast, and also the returning of the holy cities of the Hamashiach laid waste from many centuries. Reading from Yeshayahu the prophet, the 23rd chapter is extremely important because it shows a portion of the future event related with the autumn feast and also the time of the restoration period. And not only this, but the nations then during this period of time, they are simply adjusting regarding then what's coming in the very near future, and trade, in what we know of as banking, very much related online. And the situation that the nations are unprepared is concerning the Kingdom of China's bank. So, a few decades ago, those who were from the time where then computers didn't exist as widely as are used these days, the computer as a very great event or very important technology achievement. Some 20-30 years ago, no person in the earth would ever imagine there would exist such internet or then a worldwide system where people could simply link themselves with and do many kinds of actions. And what the instructions in the Torah and the prophets are showing is very precisely a system related with the banking of China. Now then, those people who are not studying, those people who are not taking the time and evaluating the original manuscripts in Hebrew, in modern Hebrew, and then the Paleo Hebrew, the pictography Hebrew, these people are then sometimes taken unawares of what's coming in the future. Now then, as was mentioned before, some 30 years ago, no person would have ever imagined that each individual would have a computer at home. And these days we are finding that most of the developed countries, a lot of people in this world, they have computers, either via telephone or via a computer, a desktop or a laptop. However, during this period of the restoration period and the lining up of the events of the world for the autumn feast, we find then that the computerized system must have a link with banking. And then, as the computer was said before that every person should have a computer at home, so as the Bank of China. So as the computer, when it became popular, was a great sensation, so as each person will want having banking with the Bank of China. Some people would laugh at it, as they did when they were talking of computers in the people's homes because the system was so bulky. And back then, people would ever imagine having a computer at home. But the reality, the computer is so popular these days that a person can use it via telephone. Now then, understandably, the nations are not prepared for what the Bank of China must yet link the entire world with their own system directly via internet. So then, the system that's showing itself at the moment, many countries that are involved with the trade of China, obviously they are not taking steps for the renovation or then the improvement or the achievement of having a flexible network where then their central banks can work with other types of monetary systems, and these systems in turn they can generate taxes via online purchases. Now, not only this, there are ways of investing these days that obviously are going to get linked to with the system of China. So there is a vast area of the internet that the governments are not seriously considering because of what they consider as sovereignty of their countries. Now, the problem is not the sovereignty of a nation's borders, but what the internet can do beyond the borders of a country. Now then, nations are unprepared. Europe is unprepared. The Americas unprepared. The Pacific is truly lining up with most of these systems because they are from the East, and this new system comes from the East. And taxation is truly becoming a problem because the Holy Instructions are precisely indicating very clearly there shall have or shall exist a system that must link every nation in the planet. It's not only a few countries or a portion of the globe. These are nations, and each nation yet must link with the Chinese system. Now, as it was before, nobody believed that people would have computers at home. And a short while later, such as 20 years, 30 years, what people have? Most of them have computers at home. So the entire understanding or the scope of understanding has changed in reference of 30 years ago. Now then, the evidence is in Revelation, the 8th chapter, and also chapter 1:8, related with the merchants of the earth. The scripture regarding this particular section speaks over and over again then the merchants of the earth and the traders of the earth, those who are doing trade at sea. Now then, from the scriptural perspective, why then trade is important? And why is it then the revelation no longer indicates nations, but focuses primarily on the traders of the earth? So we must consider the fact that these systems must get linked up with the system of China. So then, the taxation basis of the entire world then can be refurbished. Because not only the regular people are going to get benefits from the system of China, but also other countries. Now it must become a worldwide system. So then it links up with Daniel regarding then the alien divinity spoken of by Daniel. So then these sections are portions of the problems involved in the very near future when the Chinese bank is linking up people with computers at home, where then there shall have no borders. Now then, China has the most flexible system in the world, known as the flexible network. In other nations who are involved in the government, they are simply not truly concerned what the nation is involved with, and they are not interested in helping the country lining up the system. They are only concerned with making sure their 40 years of service for the nation, quote unquote, because most of them are truly dirty, filthy scoundrels. And because of the times, because of this period of so many changes, and the future of the countries are obviously drifting away from the power of the people, then taxation shall become a very big problem. Not only this, but ports, airports, roadways, trains, in order for them to deliver the packages, delivering what they were ordering, and these people, yet having computers at home and linked up with the system of China, a lot of them won't receive their products because of the infrastructuring of the country is real bad. So this situation should have more analysis later. So please stay tuned, much more coming up.